Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know. Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know. Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know. Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for the raid, Summoners Network. We are playing Mission 7 of Season 6 of, Season 5 of Lockstitch RPG. Thank you. Today, we are going to Folksong. Folksong is the more whimsical, where all fairy tales come to life. We have met multiple characters. Some of our characters are, in fact, legally princesses. Princess has nothing to do with gender, has nothing to do with a monarchy. It is a title granted to you. And we are still unsure how exactly you get that title. So Chester, leader of the Adventurers Guild and the most kissable llama, has had a problem with one of the neighboring towns, the town of Barrenstone. In Barrenstone, they have had surges of strange weather for the last 3 weeks in a row. He is unsure whether or not this is some kind of adventure to send a crew on. So he's asking Lockstitch to investigate it, see if it is an adventure, and if it is an adventure, let him know. And if it is not an adventure, could you solve it for them? So the party today has answered the call, and we're going to switch over to the party thing. We have lowered the rarity of some of the cards, everybody, the red string of fate, so that your character can be tied to another character.
Exactly like that.
Just like that one. And yeah, that's gonna be like a plot thread that we follow throughout the season, of you sharing screen time and see what happens. So first, we've got Patagon, played by Sepp.
Hello, everyone.
Then we have Renic, played by Imperial.
Good evening, everybody.
We have Tlalli, played by Trixie.
Hey.
And definitely that's it. Let's go to the first map. So we are all heading to the town of Barrenstone. It is right here on the map. It is at the entrance of the Wields. Like, we have seen this place before in a single game where a bear died and Pym brought it back to life. Brought them back to life. So we have Trixie, Tlalli, Renic. Tlalli, Renic, Patagon. You enter the town. The people who have invited you in are standing right here. They are delightful. This is Pa, this is Ma, and this is Ba. There's somebody like wandering around in the background there, but don't be too concerned.
Don't worry about that.
And they walk up, it's just like, Lockstitch, thank heavens you've arrived. It's just like, are you parched? Do you need a drink?
Oh, really? I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. It's like, welcome to Berensstone. They show you around. There are stone, but meticulously painted statues of bears around the town. That's just a thing that will keep coming up. Renic, the first thing you would notice is the magic balance in this town is all over the place. Any readers that you have that would do probability, like if you have one of those things where like in the back of your head you're counting numbers just to make sure things stay level, you have skipped backwards and forwards in those numbers a lot.
Of course it is. I hate Folksong.
Tlalli Frog keeps licking his lips, his little frog lips,
Yeah.
and he is repeatedly just walking up to buildings and licking them.
I'm gonna lick the building too.
Oh, it's so sweet. It feels like, and it is sticky, it feels like somebody glazed these buildings. Like they have a literal sugar glaze, like Krispy Kreme style.
Odd choice of architecture, but tastes good.
I will ask. So, is your house supposed to taste like sugar, or is that a new thing?
That's one of the interesting occurrences of lately. So please, and they like are starting to walk you through the town, and you all will see Wendell. You see Lockstitch has arrived in this town. You've got a lead on them a little bit. You've been here for a little while. This town has faced some incredibly bizarre occurrences. Can you roll me a 20-sider and I can tell you how many occurrences that you know about specifically?
Let's see.
That is... Wendell, I don't think you're the best detective.
Let's just keep that as a naive tag.
Absolutely.
Oh no, it's actually single-minded.
Oh no, you are single-minded.
Or single-minded, yeah.
That is hilarious. Does that mean you think you have it solved?
I think that it's not so much solved as much as I think the blinders are on, and he's looking for maybe something a little bit specific. And probably just has not noticed a lot of things.
The idea, the rest of you three, you see this capybara, like, riding an incredibly strange-looking, reptile. Like, bell on his... Go ahead. Is Frog squaring up?
Yeah.
Frog's just smelling Leek.
Leek is not a kind creature. You see his large teeth, and immediately from the back, you hear, "No, is this your frog here next to my lizard?"
Yeah, what of it?
You don't want to be next to his mouth. He'll back it up. Leek, back up. Oh, God. gosh. I don't want to see your frog get hurt, really. I really don't.
Frog could take him.
Just a Pokemon fight.
Lake, let's go. Wait. Are you the, Lockstitch, right?
I mean, I guess.
Oh,
That would be us.
right, this is a chance encounter, to say the least. Oh, but I really don't want, my good friend, hang on a second. You see Wendell gets down off the side of Leek and grabs this big stick out of his bag. He's like, all right, Leek, you go chew on this over there and just give us a bit of space, okay? Don't lick any more buildings, please. You'll take out the foundation or something.
Yeah, Leek will wander away, stick in his mouth. Frog, I think, just lets out a big yawn.
So the sugar-covered buildings extend quite a ways then. I'm assuming.
Oh, yes. The whole town was glazed 2 weeks back. We've been working on it, but oh, I'm sorry, Wendell. I interrupted your introductions to the crew.
Wendell is reaching his hand forward towards Frog. I'm sorry if I scared you, little buddy.
Frog licks the hand.
I've got some treats that'll be right up your alley. Hang on a sec. He pulls out this this leaf, and he unfurls it, and it's just like filled with like grubs and stuff. He's like, "Would you? I'm sorry. My name is Wendell. Is it okay if I feed your frog?"
Sure, but you might want to put it on the ground because he might just take you too.
You drop. Wendell drops it on the ground and backs away.
Frog, of course, eats it.
I'm going to guess it loves it. It just makes perfect sense. No reason that he wouldn't. Then he starts licking the ground, realizing that also the ground has a sugary glaze to it too.
I've been traveling through this town for a little bit here, but I'd be welcome to share any findings with you all. Gosh, you're all so professional looking, and this is exciting, really.
Are you here as part of the Adventurers Guild? We were told they were not dispatching anyone.
No, I'm not part of any guild at all. I've got I'm a bit of a traveler, actually, but I would be open to working with you. Is that where you're all coming from? You dispatched from them?
No, we are of course Lockstitch.
Right, of course.
They'd called us because they were unsure what the source of this was, and they didn't want to put anyone's, lives in danger. So I would say that we're definitely amenable to as many hands to help us out as possible.
Absolutely. I've been the bearers here have been kind. This is This is a very interesting place, Folksong.
That is a word for it, certainly.
We promise it wasn't quite so interesting a couple months ago.
What has been happening? I assume that's Ma, Pa, and Va.
Yeah, that is Ma, Pa, and Ba. Oh,
Can you give us some more information?
of course, of course. Like, and they motion you to follow into the town. Actually, have everybody else's tokens except for the bears. It started 3 weeks ago. The first week, starting at the end, so GM Alan, we have multiple times tried to figure out what are the names of our days are, but still we're going Friday, Saturday, Sunday just for now. I'm sure there's a cool fantasy thing that we'll come up with at some point for what they call them, but right now we'll just stick with the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Over the weekend, we began to get so much rain, raining out of nowhere, clear sky, and then it just came pouring down. It's so much rain, it carved its own little furrow, and it was so hyper focused. And then we immediately had a river cutting the town in half. It's so inconvenient, and that. This is Ma talking, and Pa raises his hand. He's just like, "Now, dear, you were complaining about how hard it was to walk to the river, and now the river is here. It's much more convenient." She's like, and then Ba Bear is just, "But now I can't get across the river. I don't like to get into the water, but," and she's like, "it did start to bring in the frogs." And then, speaking of the frogs, the next night, and it's like, no, we'll get to the frogs later. The next night, it began to rain constantly, and it felt like it was snow, like slush hitting the roof. But then we went out there, and it was puddles of sweet syrup sticking to everything, coating all of these buildings. For weeks, we've lived in a glazed town. It's impossible to clean up, and it's terrible for you. And then Ba's just like, "I love it. It's amazing. It's perfect. I wish all rain was like that." And then finally, you get to the worst bit of it, says Pa Bear, and you can see all around you are little craters and holes in the roofs of buildings, and then piles of bottled water neatly placed. They fell from the sky, crashed through the roofs, the ceilings, the windows, knocked a couple people out. Nobody was hurt, and you wouldn't believe it. None of the glass broke. Now I have to fix all these roofs, and Ma's just like, "It's very convenient though. Now I have exactly how much water I want, and I can carry it around. The whole town has plenty of water. They don't have to go back and forth from the stream at all." That was the first week.
So it's kind of like thinking out loud here. Would you say that someone in the town has liked pretty much everything's happened? Like almost like they're fulfilling a desire? Maybe?
It's just like, "Well, I personally love the fact that the river cuts through the town like that. It's amazing. Like, yeah, it's gonna take a little hands. We're gonna either have to get wet or we're gonna build a bridge or something. But this is great. And the kid is still licking the street, so I think that's an answer for him. And then Ma does love having these little perfect little bottles. It's so convenient for her.
Patagon's going to note that down for later. Okay.
Any other questions, or are you ready for me to tell you about the second week?
I'm ready.
Let us get all of the events, and then we'll begin investigating.
On the second week, it began. It got so hot. It got so hot that my clothes dried instantly on the line, but it also got scorched, like a little bit of fire. So we all had to stay inside. And then the next night, it was a beautiful warm breeze. It was amazing. And then it even smelled like heaven. But then I found our fur getting sticky with honey. And then the swarm. And she takes you to this is the laundry house. All of the clothes are covered in just those murmuring swarms of bees. It's like they turned every bit of laundry in the town that was out that night into nests, hives. And then, so we haven't been able to use that, so we did laundry again. And then you guys see towels hanging on a rack outside of, yeah, here it is. Oop, I put the bees on this one too. Ignore the bees. And then Ma reaches her finger out and touches it, and just static electricity. All of her fur just goes poof.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
And then they motion to the water next to you. And this is Ba. And she's like, and then the frog showed up. Like, I really wanted frogs because we are having a frog collecting contest around town and at school. So we were all really hoping for frogs. So then the water flooded even more in a massive rainstorm. And motions around at all the frogs that you guys see around town. It's just most of these came from that. Or a few of these came from that. It's just and then the next night, it rained frogs. And then it's just countless. And they were not immune from gravity. We caught as many as we could. And he covers the Ba's ear. He's just a lot of them didn't make it.
Unfortunate.
And then the third night, the golden frog showed up, and they points to one right on the ground. He's like, don't look at it. It's don't make eye contact. They bond immediately. He's the rarest ones, we have to keep them away from the children. And he shoos it into the water. The kids are going crazy for them.
Does something bad happen when they do the bond?
You then have to raise it.
Ah.
I'm not comfortable raising a frog.
I'm gonna look directly at a frog.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This frog hops right out of the water, and it is I think Leek and Frog are both eyeballing it, kind of growling. If a frog and a weird reptile can growl.
Leek is way too aggressive. And Wendell is grabbing him by his reins. No, 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 no.
I'm gonna pat Frog and then pick up the other frog and put it on my head. I will collect all creatures.
Well, bonded to that now. So the bear's like, it's just like 3 nights in a row. 3 weeks in a row. We're worried about what comes next.
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh no, that I was just commented. Yeah, that's very unfortunate timing. So we'll have to work fast.
I'm sorry, did you say that that you wanted frogs and then you got frogs?
I wanted frogs. And then he got them 3 different ways.
Frogs are fun creatures, yes, but perhaps something's listening a bit more than it should be to your wants and needs.
I don't
Yeah.
think I wished on a star.
Have there been any like new merchants around? Anyone like selling something, claiming it can make your wildest dreams come true by chance?
Nothing like that. But speaking of merchants, like the apothecary's been sold out. Hadn't been to work in almost a month. Like he said, he sold everything in the shop.
All right, that is a very interesting lead, if I do say so myself.
It's a lead if somebody retires early.
Well, I mean, I don't know of many business people who are just up selling things. I mean, that tends to be what they want to do. So
Man, the idea of winning at owning a shop is really cool. Oh shit, landed on capitalism again.
well, short of anything else, could you show us to the apothecary shop? Maybe we could see if there was anything suspicious or interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the apothecary. Oh.
Leek has definitely eaten a frog by now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I imagine Frog is probably also eating a frog.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
I meant it's a frog eat frog world, so.
God damn it. Ma, Pa, and Ba, like, take you to the apothecary. And it's adorable. It's just the cutest little shop. There's a sign on the door that just says sold out and like closed forever. Ha 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 ha. And the bears are just like looks like he's closed. And it's just like, we wouldn't break into a place. Like, it would just, we couldn't do it. We wouldn't be able to live with ourselves. And then they just like turn their back on you and walk down the street.
I mean, that is upstanding citizens for sure. So he's gonna turn to the group here. He's like, okay, so how are we gonna break into this place?
Could just break a window.
I was going to say we just start by looking in the window.
Hmm.
In the window? Excuse me. I look in the window.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. You look in and you see just empty shelves. Like I know that this picture is. I couldn't get it without putting the shelf without stuff. But all those jars are empty. All of like the racks where herbs should be hanging, completely gone. You see a giant barrel tipped on its side. I'm not gonna make you roll for if you can read it, but it says "Eye of," and then you can't make out that last one, but you can infer. And it's just, this place is cleaned out.
Well, it at least appears empty.
Well, if I was a shopkeep, the thing I would want most would be customers and to sell out every day. Maybe somebody's getting their wishes.
Or someone's making some potions and has a lot of money to back their newfound venture. Either way, it's suspicious.
Are there any of the bottles of water, like, nearby?
Oh sure. They absolutely have to be. The city got rained down on them, right? So
Sure.
grab one.
It's just a matter of just, like, picking one up and, like, flicking it to see if it's just, like, regular glass bottle of water.
Yeah, go ahead and. Could you roll me? You get 2d20 for researcher even without using that tag right now for this.
Okay.
But you could get 3d20 if you wanted to use a tag point.
I will use a tag point.
Alright. 3d20. Also remember that both Patagon and Tlalli are officers, so if you do roll a 1, they can negate a 1. Is that an 18 or a 4?
It's a 4.
Ooh.
So I have a 10, 13, and a 4.
So, just basic knowledge about it. It feels like a glass bottle. It has a cork nicely put into it. It is, when you picked it up, what temperature did you want it to be?
Just like standard control temperature water.
Then it was standard control temperature water. No strange viscosity. Like if you do uncork it, I'm not saying that you did, but do you uncork it?
Yes. Yeah. He's like flicks the bottle, makes sure it seems just like regular glass, takes the cork out, sees if there's anything weird there, like sniffs it before he's gonna like do anything else, like examine the bottle of water.
In every foreseeable way, like that, with your taste, the touch, smell, it is water. And not just water, but the degree water that you wanted when you picked it up. Its degrees are changing. It is going with the whims of like reality.
Sure.
And to any of your magic detectors, this water isn't here. This is just raw magic. This is a spell.
Oh. Well then. Interesting. Well, this is not actually... I mean, it is water, but it's not. This is just magic. Something is weird is going on. Not that we did not know that already, but... This is a manifestation of some kind of wide-ranging spell.
Interesting. So,
Question: if I wanted to, so let's say that Wendell is thinking that he really wants to find the source of this magic, and he's going to attempt to manifest it by speaking out loud. Right, well, perhaps I could navigate us there if I truly want it. And he's gonna take his bell off his head, and he's and put it down on the ground, and say, well, perhaps if we can follow the magic, then we could find the source. So that's what I really want. And he's going to hit his bell with his hammer and listen.
Yeah, this sounds honestly like you can use blessed, or you could use cartographer, or you could use them
Using
both.
blessed. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. In case you guys were wondering where that came from when I typed it into the Discord forever ago, Wendell.
very good.
Okay,
Give me
I would like.
2d20. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead. No, go ahead.
2d20. Oh, okay. Let's see. Roll. 20. Let's see.
18's quite good. How does it present to you, Wendell, when you know which way to go?
So, there are these like kind of different spots on the bell, and he kind of lines up, and he's like, dong, dong, hitting these very specific spots, and it starts to glow and reverberate the sound, but then almost like a light blue line of kind of this like wispy magical essence starts to move in almost like a near straight line.
Does the straight line care about things being in the way? Is
No.
it okay? Thank you. God, I love it. So you guys know exactly which direction to go, or the shortest path to it, but only the shortest path, and that is tracking the caster of this spell. Or are you tracking down the apothecary? Or are you because that dude is in town. You can go see him if you want to.
If he is, I mean, if the apothecary is the source of this, then I think whatever the I guess Wendell is trying to focus on the source of this of the goings on of the magic that is being manipulated right now around them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That line, you can see it go past all of the village and the towns, like out, and then it gets lost in the darkness of the forest. The source of the spell that created this bottle of water is in the woods, or in the forest.
This is the divine knell. This bell right here. Oh, I love it. And Wendell gives it a kiss. I love my bell. And he picks it back up and puts it on top of his head. And he says, well, Lockstitch, what say you?
It's as good a lead as any other we have, unless there's somebody else we want to talk to first.
I'm
I,
going in the forest.
this apothecary still is suspicious, but I mean, if this is source of the spell is out there, I see no reason why not to check it first.
I would agree. So
Yeah, absolutely. So as you guys just, you all, I'm just gonna bring that bottle of water with me. Up ahead, like as you were walking through the forest, and this forest is not particularly nice to people. Patagon had a run-in in this forest very early on.
Mhm.
It is protected by very powerful magical creatures that don't like trespassers. Lockstitch and WENDEL, as just you have not proved yourselves as threats, so right now you are probably good. Low rolls could tell us otherwise, though.
yeah,
As you do.
I was once poisoned by what we learned later as the Tatzel. So yeah, so just be careful and don't touch anything. Maybe I don't know.
Thank you for the warning.
Has WENDEL come through this forest before? Like, it is the forest between Folksong and Seasonings. And we know, oh, let me get the other map real fast for everybody. Because I feel like you guys are going to be walking for a number of hours to get to the forest and through the forest. So let me, if you guys want to share anything. Oh, my map broke.
Wendell went around, likes to travel on the coast near the water, because that's where Leek is most comfortable. Oh, this map is so cool.
It's just, it is so cool. Like, the dude, Wouter, that makes our maps, absolutely love him. The game would not be anywhere near the same without his, like, because he completely made this side. This side was completely made by Wouter. So we are up here right now. But I just like that. But if you think you have come through here before, I will totally give you a role as the explorer tag that you could add a tag to this forest that we could use.
Wendell would have traveled on the back of Leek, and Leek would have preferred to stay near water. So a big, dark, scary forest would have been avoided.
Okay, absolutely. Well, now you're in one.
Surprise.
And as you get deeper into this forest, like you are being led by that blue light. Can other people see it, or is it just a WENDEL thing?
I would imagine that it's just a WENDEL thing. And so there's a lot of, right, you're gonna have to trust me, okay? I'm going to navigate us as well as I can, following this light that I see.
Up ahead, you hear 3 different voices as there is a conversation going on, but you'd have to get closer to hear it, and then there's a chance of you getting spotted. Is this a sneak up situation, or are we?
Wendell stops and says, Lockstitch, I've been, the little bit of time that I've spent in Berenstain, there's been little stories that I'd heard, things in the woods, but the folks there, they are so scared of witches. I've heard them brought it up maybe a handful of times, which is a handful more times than I've ever heard them brought up before, so I've heard, of course, stories here and there about them, but if these are honest to goodness witches, I don't know where the first place to begin would be, so
At the mention of witches, Patagon's going to say that, well, I have too heard some of Folksong stories through our times here, and there are quite a few that do mention witches of various degrees. So, give me a moment while I'll try to think of one that might have the most relevancy here. So he'll use this hellish tag to try to just think through the different stories he's heard to see if there's any that match the descriptions that he's seen with the frogs and the other goings on.
Absolutely. Give me 2d20. $13 is so good for Patagon. Patagon has a special thing. With the Sept has a special thing as a player. If he rolls a 13, it is a 20. Doesn't matter what character he's playing. Patagon.
Perfect.
Was there a tag associated with that?
Hellish. Patagon, you instantly, you have heard of them. They are a coven of 3. Most recently, they are a coven of 3. They left the Adventurers Guild. 2 of them had to retire at the same time, so they are no longer adventurers. They are known as the Weather Witches. And they are incredibly... When not given a task, they tend to bicker a lot. As one of your Adventurers Guild notes, it just has Chester... and it has written a note. It's just like, make them stay on task. If they get off task, all hell breaks loose.
Yep. So Patagon say exactly that. That the one that seems to be the most relevant is the coven of the Weather Witches. So we're looking for 3 witches who might be bickering amongst themselves. So just be aware and keep your voices low. We don't want to bring any undue attention.
Because their names would have been documented. There is Weather, Heka, and Drizelda.
Those are great. At least we have an idea of what we're walking into now. Anyone have a good plan on how to be sneaky, I guess?
I do think you would know that they are negotiable. You can talk to them. They are people. They do get pretty single-minded. They all share that flaw. That is their flaw is they get locked in. No, tunnel vision is actually what they get. So single-minded is right. They are powerful witches. Most of the time require rituals, but they have access to pretty strong magic. They were not a Tomb Squad level adventuring group, but up there. But yeah, that is where we are. Actually, you guys don't have to be on this map yet, but you can like see them. You can. That's where they are.
Anyone good at talking? Because I'm not.
I do have quite the convincing personality, I could say. We can certainly try talk to them and see what they're on about.
I mean, if our mission is just to help regulate the weather, so if we do not have to fight, I see no reason to.
I agree with that. I mean, we'll see if there's maybe we can help them solve their current problem, and then the weather issue will then solve itself. So.
That might, hopefully.
So, I guess in that case, Patagon will put on his most convincing smile and walk up, as casually as you can when you're walking in the dark forest and such.
I'm gonna leave Leek kind of a little bit farther back and walk up without him.
Just so I'm making sure I'm getting all the heights right. So Patagon is actually like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, like 3 feet something. Yeah, something like that. 3.5 or something close to that.
Renic is more than twice that tall.
He has 8.5. Yeah.
Tlalli looks like they're only like a couple feet tall, but they have a tail that is like 9 feet long. And they ride on the back of Frog, who is roughly the size of a Saint Bernard, but can open his mouth to a degree that does not make sense. And I'm never gonna make it make sense.
I mean, one does not look into the mouth of Kerbo or other things like Kerbo.
So my question is, how tall is Wendell?
Wendel's like 3 feet tall, but that bell adds another like 2.5 feet. So he's overall just over like 5 feet tall with the bell.
The bell counts.
Bell counts. Bell counts for something.
All good doctors, when they measure with the bell on. So, alright, Patagon, are you making yourself known as you like approach?
Yeah, I don't want to take anybody by surprise, just maybe make some casual conversation, just like we're walking through the forest. And
can you roll me? I'm taking you using known.
yes.
Anything else, or just the known?
Just known for now. Yeah.
All right, give me 2d20. That's so funny. So many 13s. We gotta check these dice at some point.
I don't know.
But they all 3 of them like turn and look at you, and then they look down in their like cauldron and look back at you, and then you can see they're watching a rerun of the Patagon show by scrying in their cauldron right now.
Well, hello. How apt. I know that episode well. We had a lot of fun interviewing those people over in Folksong. So
They're just fanning themselves. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. She's like, what brings you out to this neck of the woods?
well,
Have you come to ask us on a mission? Do you want us to get the gang back together? For the Echo's last shot?
Echo's last shot. I mean, very possible. We were just out here taking a stroll in the woods. We saw a light. You know, we're concerned about some of the local weather phenomenon, and so we were hired to come out and take a look. So we're just investigating. But you said that you're well-known adventurers. So would you happen to be the famed weather witches then?
You know our name? But of course. Oh, it's like they like, oh, you at Barrenstone. Okay. They all talk in like hushed whispers for a second. They're like, if you, and they all pull out clipboards, were to judge how much they liked which thing, which would you say came out the best? In the case of they needed water, so we redirected a river? Was it the delicious rain that anyone could drink at all times? Or do you think they loved the it rained bottled water?
Well,
If you had to judge.
I mean, from a impartial outside source, I would have to say that probably the river did the least amount of unintended consequences. But I mean, I see the point of view that they were coming from. They were definitely trying to fulfill a need. But there might have been some other issues.
Okay. As from an outsider's perspective, you four, which did you like best? Like,
Frog.
if you were thirsty in a city. Oh, go ahead, go for it. Oh, 5, 6, no. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I said frogs. That's the longest favorite thing.
Ah, yes, but... Oh, and they flip the page. For the frogs, did you like a few really nice quality frogs that loved you and cherished you? Did you like natural frogs from up the river? Or did you like raining frogs?
Raining frogs was probably the best choice. A lot of them died.
Not the... Okay, so you don't like dead frogs.
I mean, the local wildlife probably likes it, but I'm not partial to it.
Inconclusive. And they flip the page. It's just like, what was the best form of drying people's laundry? Sudden, instant, massive amounts of heat to flash dry everything in the city? Was it a warm, honey-scented breeze? Or filling all the laundry with so much electricity that it all dried out? Which one went the best?
Anyone else want to take it, or I'll offer an opinion?
Go for it.
I would say out of those three options, the best one was probably the electricity. That is not to say it was a good option.
Griselda does yes. And it's just like... Then, the bet is even. They're even all across the board. It's just like... What did Chester send you out here? Do we have a secret mission? What do we need to do?
kind of like a hushed tone. He's like, well, maybe if we can redirect their energies a bit, he'll try to think of something that they could all work towards. Let's see. So a secret mission, yes. And now this is completely off books. No one will, say anything if you ask about this. So just know. So he's gonna try to explain, like, maybe there's an let's see, try to think of like an outskirts area of the village where they can help them, repair their crops, yeah, more efficiently, like have stable weather patterns to
Oh yeah,
more.
absolutely. Are we black and white in this one? What the? What are we sim world in this?
Yeah, like to try to improve their crop yield. I guess that's the word. But the only way that you're going to be able to do this successfully is you have to work together. Yeah.
Okay.
There was some concern over the crop yields from Berenstain, and so Chester was hoping you could help stabilize their weather patterns to increase the yields.
That is right up our alley. I just like don't. But what do they need? We need. Is it? One of them was just like, I think, and I don't know anything about horticulture. If we, what magic thing? What is a good? What is a good fantasy folk song side of the world crop? Because the only thing we really know grows anywhere is popo nuts, which are giant bowling ball sized mashed potatoes.
What would be a good folk song crop?
Would Wendell know of any crops that he's seen
Absolutely.
that would be weather dependent for growing?
Yeah, I definitely think it'd be something up Wendell's alley. Or like even if you had just like grabbed seeds as while you were exploring, if you want to use Explorer as the tag.
Okay, I'll use an Explorer tag.
Yes, give me 2d20 and let's. All right, you definitely have You've definitely found some, but they're not perfect. They're from an area similar to this area, but not spot on.
Wendell's gonna.
But you can
pull
make
out
something up for sure.
Wendell's gonna pull out these seeds and say, Mrs. Weather Witches, hello, my name is Wendell. There's been many birds that eat these seeds, and the ecosystem here on Folksong is very dependent on the weather. I was wondering, when the three of you work together, I think that the people of Folksong appreciate your efforts the best, and they probably go to sleep at night saying, "Thank you, Weather Witches. It's such a great day," and wake up in the morning and see the warm winds, and say, "Thank you, Weather Witches, for the warm winds." So I would probably suggest something a bit more. Well, in your mind, what would be the perfect thing to wake up to, and the perfect weather for these to grow?
They all turn and look at each other and just like, apples. You can never go wrong with apples in Folksong. It's like, we use them in pies. We use them in curses. It's the easiest thing in the world to curse. It's just like, oh, don't even get me started about how easy they are to curse. And it's just like, you know how easy it is to get somebody to eat a poison to one of those? So easy.
We probably don't want poisoned ones, though.
Oh, dude, we won't grow the poisoned apples, but like, it's a free market.
So I think one thing that we've noticed is that um, there's been some other magic going on. Um, have you noticed anything a bit irregular?
Oh yeah. This is like, we learn. It's like another world, like on the secret mission, like we gotta help each other. We've been filling a cauldron from the stream in the forest. It is a particularly just chef's kiss. But it has been getting more dangerous as of late. Creatures go and they drink of it, and they are much larger.
You might have seen my friend Leek. He's quite a large. And Wendell looks over to Frog. He's like, now that you mention it, there are quite a few large creatures around here, aren't there?
And they would get so. Be careful around that spring, or they're gonna get a lot bigger.
Hmm.
Is there do you think that there's a source to that? Anything that we can help with about this stream?
Are they concerned with it? Probably. It's just like, as much as we like having a little extra oomph, things are gonna get out of hand if nobody. And she finally like puts the pieces that Patagon is part of Lockstitch together. She's like, oh, yeah, we were supposed to call you guys. They pull out Patagon's like Lockstitch's call us if rampant magic detected. Like, yeah. It's like we were gonna do it right after we settled the bet.
That is great news that we're already here. So
It's a little too great of news. So let me. So they are telling you there is a spring in the forest that is causing some rampant growth, if you will.
We should probably check that out.
can't let the magical imbalances threaten the stability of this ecosystem.
Grab you guys. I can't wait to get to the end of this game where I tell you what I thought you guys were gonna do, cause It wasn't this.
Wendell says, or wants to ask the witches, I know magic is all over the place, but have you ever thought about the source of it? Like, I know you're powerful witches, but where does all that magic start to seep into a spring? Where does it come from?
They all look very serious for a moment. And a bit of the whimsy fades away from their faces as we have always felt that magic is a voice echoing our voice. Magic is a deal. It is a bargain. We give you this herb. You give us this. We give you this eye. You give us this. It is a deal. It is fundamentally an exchange. That is what we believe magic to be.
I guess we all kind of give in our own ways. You know, the one thing that I think of when you talk right now is the word balance. I know, chaotic as Folksong is, it's hard to see the balance, but I suppose there's more balance than others can see.
Sometimes there's a difference in exchange rate.
Right, thank you very much. I'd love to look at the spring.
Absolutely. So you all walk through the forest and you come across this there's a small creek leading to it, but this is just a big, basically mud puddle, but big enough that some of the animals drink from it. And yeah, you are seeing some very large, like, say these are like way in the background, they are still 4 times the size of Renic. Like size hedgehogs.
I do not think they're supposed to get that big.
Yeah. For sure. If you guys have been through this area, you will know about them. They are mostly common creatures. They are exactly what you think they are. They're little hedgehogs with antlers. They're adorable. Everybody loves them. Male ones have antlers. Female ones have antlers. They're adorable. But also easily 20 times bigger than they should be. Like, the water is... you guys have your, like, anomaly detectors and stuff. It is on the edge of splitting at the seams. Like, there is so much magic concentrated here that I don't... Too much Dragon Age. I don't want to say the veil is thin here, you know? But
Sure.
yes, the fabric is thin here. It is frayed. So, yeah. This is where we're at. These guys are not hostile right now. They are just drinking. This is a spring of water. Unsure how deep.
The back in the day, we would be looking for mushroom rings and things, but it's definitely unnatural anomaly for sure. The cause, that's to be determined, I guess.
You know, you said those mushrooms. I totally just did not have them here, but let me put them in there.
Oh joy.
At the edge of the water, Wendell is going to kind of lower his bell down into like the little bit of the edge of the water to see. He's almost like testing how deep it is, but almost wants to kind of like let it sit in the water a little.
Yeah. Roll me a hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blast. Okay. Right. Rolling blast. Would that be 1d20?
2d20.
2d20. Okay. Roll. Rolling. Double 12s.
I can upgrade that now, right? Because I've seen it
Absolutely. Yeah, you could.
before. I would like to upgrade that.
Oh.
That's so good. Okay. So Wendell, you putting your bell underwater and then you're tapping it.
Yes, I am. I am going to. First, he's kind of like taking in kind of the scene and watching kind of the water kind of hit the bell. But yes, he's going to hit it and watch the ripples and trying to kind of. There's so many mushrooms. And watch kind of the ripples and see if there's some sort of something that shows itself here as
Oh, I absolutely love it. Because as you are trying to divinate it, over your shoulder, Renic, you can see the ripples becoming like a math problem to you. You can read the frequency.
Mhm.
And you see it crashing against where the veil or the fabric is thinnest. You can see that this place is, and at the same time that Renic is seeing it through math and numbers, Wendell, you are being shown it by your blue figures. That this area is thriving with this magical level. Like those creatures are living great lives. Even though they are much bigger, like, but this is a new ecosystem of creatures this size here. Like, it is spreading out. Some of these flowers are from Gaia's garden and normally don't spread out. And Gaia's garden is close by, but this forest was not natural. We know that this forest was just one big spell at one point in time. Like somewhere between illusion and conjuring. But now this is becoming real, like actual growth. Like cross-pollination style. And the magic here is helping that. But the magic is also a threat because that veil is very thin and like it can pop out in unpredictable ways. So, my question is, how would you want to move forward with that?
Is there a way we can strengthen the veil?
Absolutely. Some of you have good experience with being it not specifically having stitchcrafter abilities, but Patagon has trained with stitchcrafters and Renic has studied it.
Yeah, I say that would be a good thing to start with. Yeah, I mean, this place does appear to be thriving. We just want it to thrive, more stably and not be, switching so much, I guess, like between.
I mean, are we concerned about the threat that the creatures that drink from this are going to become? He waves at the hedgehogs. I'm not sure these particular creatures will be a problem, but if anything that drinks from here becomes, proportionally bigger, then as soon as a predator or a violent is not the word I want, but a creature more prone to outbursts of violence
Mhm.
is exposed, then we could have the people of Folksong and even Seasonal may have a more serious problem on their hands.
That is another good point. That one might want to bring up with the Adventurers Guild themselves. I mean, depending, they might encourage the challenge. I mean, they have used this forest for training grounds previously, but that wouldn't be my particular call. It's really the call of the ones who live here. Like you said, we don't want to put anyone in any increased danger for sure.
I don't disagree with you. Like I said, I am more worried about I do not have a good example. But what would happen? Nothing would happen. Never mind. This is already too magical of a being. But I mean, pick any, like I said, a predator or a more violently tended creature who is exposed, then becomes a strain on the ecosystem, is driven to find food, and that becomes the people who live on either side of the Weald itself.
But isn't the
While-
ecosystem thriving?
Currently,
The whole ecosystem?
There's a balance there, right, between predator and prey.
there is a balance, but it takes time for that balance to establish itself. And I am I am concerned more for the fallout of that time period.
Yeah, I absolutely I love that. Can you give me, if you want to, like you can just roll 1d20, or you could use a tag to use researcher again, and I think that would help you. And math magician. Use so if you want to use one tag, you will get 3 dice.
Yeah, that's what I would like to do. That.
All right, thank
Sounds
you.
like a
And
great plan.
Deduct a point. Well,
but don't worry, you have 2 officers here.
Tlalli, do you have a plan to negate that one, or do you want me to?
What exactly are you researching right now?
it's. I'm kind of trying to figure out, like, if we let it go, how long will it take? Do we think it will take the ecosystem to stabilize itself so that it's not a threat outside of the Weald?
I can negate that one. I'm a naturalist. I could help with that.
You absolutely love that. Like Tlalli and Renic, like looking at like a small patch, like basically pumping magic into it to see what happens on a grander scale. And you two like figure it out that you should do, like, here's my thought. And like tell me if I'm off base completely. But the idea of like letting it, either finding something that naturally repels predators in the area, like a plant or something that keeps the time like that them back, to keep the ecosystem very, it will spread out slowly, but it is very like a strong, small ecosystem. Or lower the amount of magic so things are just like more slow on a timeline that you guys can send the Adventurers Guild to keep track of.
I
If we
would,
can-
su-
go ahead.
I would suggest probably slowing it down, because if we make sure the predators don't get to it, then the plant eaters are gonna start to wreak havoc. 'Cause
I
they have no
agree. I
natural
think we should
predators.
just, if we can, we should stabilize the Veil and then just try to. I don't want to say stop, but slow the spread of this change. Maybe some kind of siphon for the extra magic to just reduce the amount that is pumped into the ecosystem at once, or something.
It'd also give time for people to adapt.
Exactly. Like you said, we should definitely, or like Patagon said, we should definitely report this back to the Adventurers Guild. I think they would relish the challenge, as long as it is not, hey, suddenly there is a giant pack of 20 times sized wolves that you all have to go deal with. Good luck!
Man, I hate 20x times wolves.
Or
I love
insert
it.
whatever insert whatever predator we know lives in this forest.
We know there's a really big crow.
I was gonna say, what happens if the Tatzelworm drinks from it, but I was like, yeah, I don't think anything happens. It's probably already too magical of a
Right?
creature.
That's like it's like balance. Like it
Yeah.
is like this is just not even liquor to it, you know?
I think they would, like you said, Patagon, I think they would relish this as a ability or challenge to train their people, or as a ongoing assignment for their people. But I think we should not. It is the spigot, right? We don't want it on full blast all at once. We should slow it down so that it is not, we should let it ramp up slowly, not full blast immediately.
Exactly. It will get to the same end goal, but it'll do so in more of a
Exactly.
gradual. Yeah, now that makes perfect sense.
So
Yeah, I'm
correct
good
me
with
if my.
that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I just saying I'm good with that.
Does that sound reasonable to you, Vandal?
Yes, I think right now it's tranquil, but I'd hate to see it go the other direction.
Wendell, I think this is actually a very interesting moment from an outsider's perspective. Like, they are talking about literally stitching reality up, and like you may have heard of that, but it's like the I think of that one moment in Final Fantasy VI, if you guys have all played that, where Terra uses her magic in front of people the first time. It's like, yeah, conceptually, they've heard that she has magic, but then she uses it and they're like, what the fuck? It's like, and I'm not saying that it's like a what the fuck, but they are literally about to like pull out tools to stitch a hole in reality that you can't see.
Wendell is sitting on top of his bell, and he's like kind of like lightly tapping it, and he's kind of watching.
Absolutely. All right. So Tlalli, Patagon, and Renic. There is the best way I can describe it is imagine not a big tear, but like when denim gets worn, like at the knees, it's like the hole is almost there. It's just very thin fabric right there.
Mhm.
And yeah, you guys have all the tools that you would need. What's it look like?
Oh, sorry, I got distracted by the $200.
Oh yeah, big same.
I know what Renic is part of it is. And that he has done this before, but is to figure out what is the most efficient stitching pattern.
Absolutely. I do remember you doing it, and it's like also because of that donation, if you guys make a roll and it's anything over a 1, as long as it's not nat 1, it is a 20. So that is how good you guys are going to do on this.
Oh my goodness.
Noise. Let's hope they're not in that one then. Yeah, so Renic's looking at the stitching Patagons and like essentially trying to make a patch. Like you're saying, it's getting thin, so it's just kind of like more of a how can we strengthen this piece with some the best magical color to use maybe.
Trying to think, like, you guys would definitely have the silver thread for it and the needles that literally punch through, and so you can sew it back up. What do patches look like, though?
That was my my thought. I was like, I don't know if we've ever actually done it, but I was like, that looked kind of thematic, so I was gonna bring it up. Good question. And I don't know if I have an answer.
I can imagine it. Have you guys ever seen blister band-aids?
Ooh.
Is that like a gross way of describing it? Like, it looks normal, but then like if you just like look at the side, like you see a lumpy piece, a lump in the world, and you just keep looking. But if you focused on it, you're gonna see like right here, the world is kind of weird. And over time, this patch will fill, and like that sounds gross, and like expand, but it will seep very slowly.
Mm. Yeah, so we almost like a translucent pearl kind of situation. Like you just look at it and it just kind of warps the light around it almost.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'm seeing it. Yeah, but then like if it gets to the point where we have to change it, where we have to fix it, it's because when you look at it, it looks like a funhouse mirror version of the world.
I think that's neat myself.
Disgusting, let's do it.
Goblin. Wait, the whole place is going to be full of hemogoblins if we call this the magical hemogoblin.
Oh, that's adorable.
Absolutely. So that's the patch. We'll know exactly how to. We're going to know exactly how to mathematically stitch this on. Tlalli, what is the speed that we're looking at in the area for growth? On a scale that we know that setting it at 10 is dangerous right now because the echo is waking up and we want to keep things safe for everybody. We know the 10 is bad. How far down do we set it on a 1 to 10 scale?
Could I roll for that, or
If you want to roll, but like, it can just straight be Tlalli. It like whatever you roll is the right answer, just so you know.
Okay.
Because this is a 20. We all know this is a 20. As long as it's not a 1.
Let me see. Roll a G10.
Okay, so we're turning it down more than halfway. Like it's gonna be set at 4. These creatures will be growing at an exponential rate to all of the other creatures, but it's not so bad that you guys can't keep up. Like, it's much slower. We're not gonna run into any new gods next season. You know what I mean? Like, if it was at a 9, I would imagine we were going to run into new gods next season. But yeah, you guys, and you all know where this is and can mark it on the map. It's a neat thing and I want to use it. But yeah, you guys get that patch just set. It's a weird, gross hemogoblin.
Who's rolling for it?
Oh, I think all three of you can roll a d20 if it as long as there's not 2 ones, because we can still get rid of if if just one person wants to roll. I'm also perfectly fine if just one person wants to roll.
I want to roll. But we can all roll.
I'm fine rolling.
Yeah, let's all do it.
Okay.
Good numbers. Good numbers.
Oh, jeez.
As long as it's not a 5. Oh, nice.
You all just roll like so many 13s, like a 5, a 13, and a 13, but they all get turned straight into 20s. Yeah, this place is amazing, everyone. It's a weird little paradise here. You set it up perfectly. It keeps the predators out. It slowly spreads. It's hidden from the world. And it's just an adorable little ecosystem of hedgehogs with antlers. And whatever else lives here.
Yeah, they could even have field trips or something. Who knows?
And Wendell, for all your exploring, this is the first time you've been at a place when it became new.
Wendell is sitting on his bell, and whatever sort of vibrations or obviously there's mathematics and magic and the movement of it, but all the ripples are kind of hitting this bell, and so there is a bit of a sound like emanating from it. So I like to imagine that whatever sort of magical alteration movement that is occurring through this stitching, Wendell is listening to it with his eyes closed from his bell.
I think you get images of worlds that you have never even thought of. Like, you see, while they're like in your flashes of your mind, adventures from all across not just this world, but other worlds. Like, you see spaceships, even if you don't understand what a spaceship is, like flying through the sky. You see a city powered by song that looks somewhat familiar, but like a memory. And you see just like, you see hell for a moment, and then just a huge group of adventurers like cutting through demons and it like running through portals from one dimension to another while they do their work.
Wendell is being a bit not like overtaken by these images, but is like smiling and opening his eyes sometimes and closing again, and he's kind of having a moment watching you guys work.
So, how you three finish, it is just exactly what you wanted it to be. It is like all of your training, like you did it. It's like kind of corny, but one of those like pat yourselves on the back moments. So it's like you did what you guys are trained to do.
Great success, team.
Tlalli's pretty happy she got to help nature for once.
Renic is monitoring it on a device to make sure it's leaking at the expected rates.
I think it's within a 0.01 margin.
I think we did it, you all.
That's great news that we'll be able to report back to both the Adventures Guild and Lockstitch that we have a controlled anomalies.
We all just sit and stare at it for a minute.
Right? It's like
Exactly.
I don't know where to go right now. Like that was so much better than the game that I had planned.
Two things. Wendell, after it's over, Wendell tries to write down, like, somehow to write down what he heard musically. And second off, he says, right now, this space was tranquil, because a predator didn't take advantage of the magic, but I come to remember that there actually was a predator in town taking advantage of the magic, wasn't there?
Alchemist.
So, I mean,
we should at least go follow that lead and see what was happening.
Absolutely. It's like, oh good. We got a little bit longer in this game then.
I saved you.
You did give me. It's like, all right. He's mostly just a capitalist, though. That's basically the story. You guys show up there and he is packed to go. He has like tons of bottles of water in the corner. Like he is gonna like get out of here. He has made himself super rich off the weather witches. Like he's like looks over at you all. Hi.
I know what you did.
Just let Tlalli handle it. I'm good. I don't need to talk.
Face the black.
No,
You
you
just
do.
hear a bunch of punching.
Depends on how he answers.
He's just like, look, there's nothing wrong with facilitating an argument. They needed to get to the bottom of their little bet. I just supplied all of the means.
I'm gonna bite him. Unless somebody stops me.
How do you bite him?
How do you mean?
I mean,
Usually with my teeth.
if we were to stop you, are you like jumping at him, or are you just
Yeah.
like
You could probably just grab my tail when I lunge at him.
the 12-foot one, or
Yeah.
I was gonna say, this is where Renic is conflicted, right? You're an officer.
Well,
So-
officers are
He
all
thinks this is-
powerful.
So he thinks this is a bad idea.
Wendell has seen an amphibious creature get a little bit too feisty, and immediately Wendell's like, no, don't bite him, please, no.
I think
Okay,
he
fine.
has a point, Tlalli. He turns the glare on to the alchemist. Well, what you're saying is true. There is no crime perhaps committed here. You might want to rethink what it is you the moral compass you are using to dictate your actions.
I was just like, hey, I follow my heart and the golden gecko.
Your heart killed a lot of frogs.
I'm dreadfully sorry about the loss of frogs. But were they really frogs? Or were they just magic? It's like, look.
You
he's
just
like,
apologized. Why are you going back on it now?
okay. I'm sorry. He is.
Not that. Just
Oh, he is very bad at pretending to be sincere.
But
Getting
you
my
made your
fangs
money.
ready.
This guy's name is Apothecary, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. It's like I was keeping that theme the whole way.
Okay.
Last
Can I at
name
least
Carey.
squeeze him? Just a little
Yeah.
bit? Oh, I'm asking the party. Like, can I squeeze him just a little bit?
We don't want to harm.
Just a little.
You do see around this place are literal chests full of gold. Like all of his stuff is packed up. He's got luggage packed. He's got all of his gold. He has packed an immense amount of bottles of water.
Mr. Apothecary. It is Apothecary, yes?
Apothecary of the family Apothecaries.
Yes.
My dad was Pa Apothecary.
That's what I thought, given the sign on the outside of your shop. As indirect as it might have been, your actions did cause not insignificant damage to Berenstone here. I think it only right that they have a say in how some of that is repaired, yes?
Well, I mean, I could, out of the kindness of my heart, try to raise some money for those in need.
Hey, look, there is some money sitting right there. And he picks up
Oh.
a chest. I have raised it for you.
I mean, the wordplay. He's Tlalli and Renic, can you both make whatever you would consider your intimidation roll? Or even if it's not intimidation, your coercion, your like, how do you make him not raise a fuss about this?
Sure.
Can I add the tag, I don't know how to say the word correctly, occult?
Occult? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want to be like creepy?
Yeah. I got the crows behind me.
As I say, whereas I am going to use mathematical and do like a rough estimation of the gold and be like, yeah, you won't even miss this.
Aw.
Oh, you
is
get
it
one
just-
more. You do get
Oh.
one more,
Okay.
Tlalli.
Let me press it again. Oh, that
Wow.
was worse.
Okay.
Let me... I think I have a card.
I will wait until Tlalli is done.
Oh, that won't work.
Wendell says to the apothecary, and where exactly were you off to?
I was like, it's like, he's like, are you a well-traveled fellow? I was off to evil. They're in need of a good apothecary. As of recently, they've discovered taking care of themselves. I'm really getting into that gold rush. So Tlalli did pinch hitter, so one. Yeah, 19's pretty good. that's a that's a good use of pinch hitter.
Yep. Alright, and then my two.
Oh,
Well,
What?
Oh.
Alright then.
hard.
I get it very
Sorry.
wrong. I get it very wrong.
And somebody just played fucking. No, they didn't. I thought that was gonna be like a F in chat is what I thought that was gonna be.
Like,
Where's my F in chat? I've got one.
I was gonna say with that roll, with the roll by one, I could officer your other one. At least you get a 2. But I don't know. It's up to you.
Because this is basically reap and sow, but capital S on the sow. No, other way around. Wait, have we negated any ones?
I negated one earlier.
Tlalli negated a 1.
Still leaves a one.
It does still leave a 1, and I don't know if it's just funnier that we have a massive F.
Yeah.
Either way, that's fine with me.
I have no cards to fix it.
I got it very wrong.
But you can we could think of a way to negate some of the. Let me say what I think is going wrong, and then Patagon, if you have an idea for smacking some of it down, absolutely. I think because they made Tlalli's 19 into a 20. I think you are incredibly intimidating to this man. And when you picked up the chest, Renic, you knew exactly how much is in that. But that is so much money. And also, he owes that money to somebody else.
Okay.
He's on his way to deliver that money to the known gangster element in Evil. Because Evil's basically what if Nightmare Before Christmas was the noir movie Chinatown.
Gotcha. So, I guess with that, so the way Patagon would probably try to even the scales, per se, is, well, on top of it, I mean, we can give you some goodwill here and maybe even an evil. I mean, you know, showing charity to those in need, to, you know, that really should bring you future business. And we can at least make sure that it's known that that you helped these people after these natural occurrences that, you know, weren't 100% your fault. I mean,
I do absolutely love that, for sure. Renic, you've made an enemy.
Yeah, that's fine.
So somewhere we gotta make sure that we know that Renic's nemesis is Apothecary.
Do you want me to put that under flaws? Just so that it's on my thing?
There's a domestic going on outside our window.
Uh-oh.
Or just a bad parking job, I can't tell. Pa-Thecary. Yeah, PA. Oh, hilarious. So yeah, how does we can montage this one, but you all can afford it? Like, it's completely taken care of. But what does it look to literally clean up the streets?
Well, Frog can take care of the dead frogs. Tlalli too, when nobody's looking.
I was gonna say, we probably, they liked having the river, right? It was just annoying that they couldn't get across it, so help build them a bridge. Fund building a bridge.
Absolutely. And you guys have enough money to do all of it.
yeah, definitely will. Patagon will help fill in the potholes where all the bottles had dropped and caused that damage. I mean, he can't get to the roofs, but he'll leave that to someone who can.
Love it. So the frogs are being taken care of. The dead ones. I think this town just has it's frogs from now on, though. Unless you guys have a way to Pied Piper the frogs out of town.
Well, I could just take all of them, but I don't know if you want them on the ship.
I was gonna say, don't you have an island of frogs?
Oh yeah. I guess I could take them there. I'm keeping the cold one with me though. It reminds me of Frog.
Naturally.
The ever-present reminder of your ever-present companion.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, sometimes you can't look down, so it makes sense.
You look up instead.
Sometimes Frog is like needs privacy.
It's not. It's a ooh piece of candy. Ooh, a frog. Ooh, a frog. Ooh, a frog.
But yeah, I can take the rest of the frogs to Frog Island.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so how did we gather them up? This is like as the credits are rolling montage at the end of the anime, you know?
I could bond with all of them.
Weren't the kids having a frog catching competition?
Yeah, but I don't care about kids.
That's fair.
Tlalli shouldering them out of the way. It's like an Easter egg hunt, but Frog and Tlalli just keep appearing out of bushes, attacking these children, not hurting them, but taking their frogs.
How do flaw tags work again? Because she has them
Oh.
different.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, it is roll 2d20 and take the lower.
Yeah, I'm rolling for no reason. Just to fuck with myself.
Yeah, Tlalli. It's like everybody thinks that all the kids are running around having a good time. Ma and Pa like arm in arm watching their kid like go gather the frogs, and suddenly Tlalli and Frog just smash into them and throw them into the river. Like that is how like that scene ends.
I am the best officer.
I just
Gave me.
I just want
Who
I
let
just
me
want the one
become an
scene.
officer?
I want the one scene where it's not like croquet, but it's just croak, and he hits the frog with his little mallet.
It like tumbles.
Just like not like gets him out of the town.
Like that's how you do it. It's like these ones are strictly magic. They're not even they're not real. So twirl, 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 smack. Each hit sounds like a bell gong. Just flying through the sky.
There is like this kind of mending type kind of cantrip magic that Wendel's gonna use the bell and kind of put it over like large cracks in like in some foundation and play a song of mending, and it slowly starts to like kind of put together some of the like kind of cracked stone and wood, and like does this like a little bit of fixing.
Absolutely. And Renic seeing Wendell do that, that is the divine version of the spell we would call repair from the quest one. What was it? Was it called repair or undo?
Undo.
Undo. Yeah.
Interesting. How does he do that? So I think Renic is following him around with like a magic reading device, like watching what he's doing on the numbers.
Did you put all those frogs in front of Wendell? Hit them?
Yeah, of course.
He's gonna try and hit him. All right. Let's see. 1d20. How many? There we go. Let's see how well I can hit these frogs.
Okay, can the magic frogs feel pain?
Wendell misses completely. All the frogs like go hopping in different directions. He thinks he obliterated the pile. Like it looked like you didn't hit a single one of them.
I'm just imagining go to hit him and Leek just takes a big bite.
Yeah, fair. Is the wrong. For sure. And so, and then we get like the scene that 1 second.
see this
Chester came in to talk to Patagon. Oh, go ahead.
I see this message in chat about playing pool, and it's like the break at the beginning of a pool. Just hit the frogs, and they go every direction. Adorable.
It's like
Sorry,
green
go ahead.
frog, all pockets. You guys are gonna just reach into your pockets for the rest of like the season, and every once in a while you're gonna have a frog in there. There's also a problem with bees. I forgot about the bees. But Chester has come to negotiate with Patagon, or like discuss like what are the plans about this spring.
Yeah. So, Chester, so we believe that it's stable for now. It will gradually raise the magic level of the area, but it shouldn't do it in a overwhelming way. So we're hoping that the Adventures Guild can keep an eye on it and deal with whatever changes happen to be there. And of course, definitely let us know if you need any assistance for sure.
Well, thank you, Patagon. It's just like this small town has really become something new, something interesting. We have to keep our eyes on many of our locations, and we can trust that we will send any undue weirdness to you before we send our adventurers off to their own. I'm looking for like trying to make sure we know that they don't send adventurers to like house to fires and stuff. Like why you don't send cops to fires style. Like that is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so it's kind of like they want it to be challenging and adventurous, so they would send people out to actually scout and set up barriers, I guess you could say, like make sure that it's not a just unchecked kind of situation.
It's like absolutely, I like the idea of adventure scouts.
And then he will let them know that the weather witches are in the area and that they're hopefully currently helping them with their crops.
Oh yeah, absolutely they are. No, Wendell rolled a success from giving them seeds that are gonna grow well here. And you guys completely convinced them to do it, and you guys have plenty of money to pay them for being adventurers because you just took a bunch of money from Apothecary. Other than Renic and like Herbalist having beef, I think we're fine. I think the game is just you guys done did it. All right, so you guys came out here to Burnstone. Hey, not Burnstone, Barrenstone. And they asked you to help solve the weather problem, and you 100% helped solve the weather problem, and then turned it into better weather for them, as well as locked in an ecosystem that you guys rolled too good, and like it was too much of a group effort to at any point take any of that away from you. That there was just an ecosystem there that you guys know about that you could share with each other. Like, I'm not saying like you don't bring any other characters here to like study, and that would be a cool little thing. But this is a new ecosystem completely. It's what if magic started actually becoming life. So that is interesting to me.
Yeah. And I don't know what everyone else is, but I would say we definitely want to make sure all the departments of Lockstitch know all the particulars, and we can have the appropriate ones keep an eye on how the progress goes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an experimental thing, right, that we did on the spur of the moment to prevent disaster, but we still want to monitor. And I mean, if it works out well, we want to add it to our repertoire of things we have and can do in the future.
Exactly.
While you guys are discussing things, Wendell is on the back of Leek and says, so, Lockstitch, where are you off to next?
I'm going home.
Personally, yeah, I'll be going back to the thimble. And did you have a next journey in your adventures?
No, right now, I'm mostly following the bell, so to speak. But I mean, I've learned so much just today about the movements of magic, and I mean, I'm sure I'll be finding frogs in my bags for days to come. But I would love to travel with you a bit longer, at least. If you'll have me, anyway.
I don't see any reason. Would you, Renic? I mean, I know that you've taken quite an interest in the bell itself, and I know personally, I believe your orange there on your bell, reminds me a lot of a previous companion that I had, who was also a capybara. So
You're a friend who was like me.
yeah, they were working to be a wizard at the time, if I remember correctly.
It's incredible. Yes, I'm sure there's a bit of as you study my bell, hopefully it's not just following your mind, but following your heart as well. There's a lot of magic out there that comes from a place that is yet to be discovered. And something tells me that there is divine work happening. But I don't want to get into the weeds about that at the moment, but there's so many things that I would love to discover with you all.
I do not see a reason why you could not at least accompany us back to the symbol and reassess your options there.
Yeah, I believe all that paperwork up to the administrator.
I'm
Others,
glad that is not my job.
You'll find the accommodations very amenable, I believe. So.
Just smash cut to Isaac sitting behind the desk, just stacks and stacks of paperwork, and like one pile just says Maverick. And it's just huge. There's so much paperwork. And then it's just like there's a moment where you see him look into Peanut's filing system, which is just the garbage can next to the desk. I don't think he does it, but I think we all finally understand Peanut.
I love Peanut.
And yeah, I think we all just head back to Lockstitch and like go to the Silver Thimble, and it's just like then your next game will be at least 6 months from this game. Like you will have been part of the Wander Crew. You got a crash course through the academy, and they will have explained things about the culture of being part of Lockstitch.
Oh.
As like the world, it gets further, it gets more and more magical, and it's just like today it is getting more magical, but Lockstitch did the responsible thing.
That
Which is
doesn't sound like us.
It doesn't, especially since like a couple days ago on Wednesday they hopped in a monster truck, robbed a giant crab, and then drove into the ocean.
That does sound like us. Well, let me rephrase. That the monster truck thing definitely sounds like the crew writ large. The doing the responsible thing sounds like very few people on the crew.
Like adventure, like it's succeeding in being a great adventure. Everybody, it being the responsible choice. Few. There's a couple of you. And,
Well,
like,
I will try to pick the responsible choice when it comes to nature, but when it comes to like cities and stuff, she don't give a shit. She'll do whatever's funnier.
absolutely. All right, so Patagon. Did you used hellish and you used celebrity?
Yep.
I don't think you used communications.
Didn't need to.
Which one would you like to put it in? The experience in?
Let's put it in hellish again. That needs me.
That gets it to 3, right?
I believe. So let me double check my last number.
I believe you rolled a 20 in the first game, and then you put the point into it. That's your first game.
Right. Yeah. Yep, that does.
So that is the first tag that has reached level 3. Renic, you definitely used researcher and mathematical.
Mhm.
Which one would you like to put an experience point into?
I would like to put one into Math Magician, if I can do that.
Oh, Math Magician being the specialty tag doesn't level up the same way.
Okay, then Mathematical.
Absolutely. That one might just become math at some point, but
That's fine.
All right, Tlalli, you used occultist and you used naturalist. I honestly think you should level up naturalist or experience naturalist because that's what you did mostly.
Yeah.
All right, that's what felt right. And Wendell, you most certainly used #blessed.
A few times.
And you used I would say you used explorer and #blessed. Well, which one would you like to put it into? The blessed one?
Oh, but then it's not #blessed if it levels up.
It takes 3 to level it up, but then we'll find a funnier name by that time.
Okay, let's put a 1 into blessed.
So yeah, I think things that have happened today's game is like we did a lot of really good PR for Lockstitch. Like a new member has joined up. Like you guys saved a small town. Although it is mostly being kept secret about the spring, but you guys helped a place of magic. You did the job. We're building the reputation of Lockstitch, which I think is really good, especially for tomorrow's game. We're playing a game at 5 p.m. Like tomorrow, it's just gonna be. Wait, which one is that one? Sorry. Yes. Akana and Kat need to go get some stolen goods back, and it's gonna be very funny. I feel like so. Thank you all for playing. This game was a riot. You very efficient. Yeah, that's it for me. Everybody say goodbye forever, unless you have something to say.
Thanks for the game, Alan.
Oh, thank you for playing. Loved it.
Bye forever.
everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
forever.
everybody.
Through tangled paths and mysteries, working side by side, we weavers chart when none to be, sailing day and night. Luminaries chase the truth through boundless wisdom keen. Through tests and trials, they'll guide the crew to sights yet to be seen. Raise the banner, let it fly. United we stand tall. A spirit bold and a courage bright to answer echo's call. Adventure waits for nobody, so rally up the crew. Sailing towards our destiny, we know just what to do. Protecting all through strife and storm, seem guardians defend. Their mission pure, their promise sworn, steadfast till the end. Mysticians seek what lies untold, with spells of newfound lore. Lighting paths and opening gates to magic's very core. Raise the banner, let it fly. United we stand tall. A spirit bold and a courage bright to answer echo's call. Adventure waits for nobody, so rally up the crew. Sailing towards our destiny, we know just what to do. Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know. Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know. Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know. Spirits wake, hearts will grow. Lockstitch's name, the world will know. Raise the banner, let it fly. United we stand tall. A spirit bold and a courage bright to answer echo's call.